What's going on with the YouTube? Fight fans all over the world. It's your boy, the realest of the real. Yes, sir, I said it. Real Talk Boxing. It is a privilege, an honor, and a major blessing to be back with you beautiful people yet again. Man, it's starting to get chilly here in Texas, man. I might start breaking out the heater for the gym. Listen, I want to talk to you guys about the fight that happened last night against my man Mikey Garcia and Sandor Martin, Spaniard. Man, we had a school function, my daughter, Halloween festival. We walked around for I don't know how many hours. Got back home, got set up for the fight, hit my recliner, started going back and forth with my homeboy Heaven Williams like we always do on fight nights. And I messed around and fell asleep. Like during the fights, like my wife probably woke me up 3 different times. I left my man Heaven hanging. I went down that rabbit hole and I never came back up. I didn't even watch the fight last night because I kept falling asleep. So I had to get up this morning and check it out. My bad, Heaven. My bad. But listen, this fight was, the build-up I kind of ignored. And usually when you have an elite fighter fighting someone I don't know, I tend to kind of, not pay attention to the build-up and the press and all that. And I need to get out of that because, I would sometimes cheat myself out of a great fight. But this fight right here, man, Martin, he showed up and he showed out. Showed up and showed out. There was some controversy on Mikey losing, but not on my end. Not on my end. Shout out to the 2 judges that got it right. Judges are really starting to step up and give these fighters their just due here as of late. But 95-95, nah, man. It was a boxing clinic in my opinion. Now, Mikey Garcia was never hurt, I don't think. Let's just talk about what Sandor did, man. First of all, the right hook from the southpaw position was stellar. That to me was his bread and butter. The lead right hook and the counter right hook. You couldn't miss with it. All right. The evasiveness, getting out of the way of Mikey's punches, not just one punch at a time, combinations, 3-4 punch combinations. Sandor was just slipping and moving, and it was nice. Movement, ring generalship, effective movement. A lot of people going to say, like Ellie setback, talking about he was on his bicycle all night and he ran the whole night. Freaking Ellie. Ellie, stop it. But it was effective movement, man. Ring generalship, counter punching was great from Martin. He was counter-punching the counter-puncher. You know what I'm saying? He was falling for a lot of Mikey Garcia's feints, but his elusiveness just kept him out of harm's way. You know what I'm saying? And even though he would get up against the ropes, especially the last 20 seconds of the last round, man, Mikey was on him like freaking white on rice. And he was catching, shooting, catching, shoot, catch, shoot. And he was connecting against the ropes. The dude said he was going to display a boxing clinic, and he did just that. I was so surprised because I hadn't really, his face looked familiar to me. I'm sure I've seen him fight, but for the most part, I had no idea who Sandor Martin was. But I do now. Now, here's the reason why I think, here's 2 reasons why I think Mikey Garcia lost that fight. Well, there's more than 2. But for the main part, I think it's inactivity outside of the ring and inside of the ring, to be honest with you. He's been out for a long time, ring rust. Timing was off. And he didn't throw enough punches for me in this fight. He wasn't aggressive enough for me in this fight. The 5th round, he came out aggressive. The 9th round, he came out aggressive. But he didn't sustain that. He didn't continue it on. Like, he just would be aggressive for a certain amount of time, and then he would just pull back and then be freaking hypnotized by the movement of Martin. So, I mean, he should have made that fight an ugly fight. He should have been throwing his straight right all night to counter the southpaw. Because we know the straight right is a southpaw killer, right? He didn't throw it much. And even though he was aggressive in spots, he was not aggressive enough. He should have made it a dogfight on the inside. Nasty, grimy, filthy. You know what I'm saying? Rated R. You should have got in there and did your thing, man. Or like, put the pressure on him and maul this dude. But obviously he couldn't because of what Martin was doing. He knew that that might have been a game plan of Mikey Garcia. He didn't allow him. He didn't stay. His back never stayed up against those ropes long, man. He pivot out and spin out and you know, kept the fight basically in the middle of the ring where he could use his athleticism, man. Sandor did his thing, man. I don't care what nobody says. It wasn't a robbery. Sandor won that fight easy, in my opinion. He outboxed Mikey Garcia, and I was kind of taken back because I thought Mikey was going to come in and just knock this dude's spark out. But, you know, that's the thing about fighters. You don't really know. You don't know what they're bringing to the table, and just because you don't know who they are doesn't mean that they ain't got that fire. I don't know what's next for Mikey Garcia. I mean, he let this one slip through his fingers. Still a fan. But I'm gonna definitely be watching this Sandor Martin. You can believe that. The Spaniard, his fighting style kind of reminds me of Sergio Martinez, if I said that name right. He was the one that knocked out Paul Williams and actually beat Paul Williams in their first fight, but they gave it to Paul Williams. Used to be a soccer player. Started fighting at the age of 20 or 21. Man, that's what he kind of reminded me of. But Sandor, he doesn't have a lot of power, but his punches are precise and they're crisp. And he is a boxer through and through. He is very elusive, and he's just too much for Mikey Garcia, you know. So if you hadn't checked out the fight, go check it out. That way you can, you know, come up with your own idea whether or not it was a robbery or not. It wasn't a robbery. He won that fight hands down easy. I didn't pay attention to this fight because I had no idea who Martin was. But now I know. And I hate I didn't see the fight, you know, as it played out last night. But I got up and watched the whole fight, man. And I was thoroughly impressed with Sandor Martin's performance. And I don't know. We'll see what's next for Mikey Garcia. Maybe he doesn't need to take, you know, too many more long layoffs. You know what I'm saying? Because that ring rust, it'll do something to you. But I want to know what you think about this. So do me a favor, man. Comment down below. Let your boy Real Talk know. As always, respect all. Fear none. God bless. The next time Real Talk Boxing, I'm up and I'm out here, baby. Click, click, boom.